Welcome to Take Another Look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo with a genuine conversation about what's missing from the human connection. Let's join Melanie and Gerda now.
Good day and welcome to another episode of Take Another Look podcast. I'm Melanie Taddeo Malo and I'm joined by my beautiful co-host,
Gerda Felix.
Gerda, how are you?
I am well, Melanie. How are you?
I am so well. I am so well right now. Feeling great. Having another wonderful conversation with you. And I love this topic. So just wanted to mention that we are here having uncomfortable conversations, but yet ones that need to be had. We are here to accept you just who you are, as you are. We're fully welcomed. So welcome to everybody. Gerda, we all have vision. Now, I'm not talking about the eyesight. I'm talking about the vision. You know, how we have an idea, a plan for the future, something that we really want to see happen in our lives. And it can be our personal life, our professional life, or even in the area of personal development. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us have created vision statements. And today I want to talk about how do we take a vision statement or a vision and bring it to life? What are the steps? What's involved? And how can we help people bring a vision they have to life in any area? So for example, a vision statement is usually an inspiring statement, one sentence usually, that ourselves as individuals, companies, organizations have. And it's a positive plan for the future, something I'd love to see. For example, my charity, our vision statement is eliminating barriers in our community. Now that's what we strive to have happen by helping individuals with disabilities, breaking down those barriers. But that vision statement keeps us grounded, helps keep focus on the work we do. And that's the way we would love to see our life. Obviously, we all have different visions. It could be a vision for something immediate, short term, but usually a vision is something for its longer term. It's a starting point to get us started. Gerda, what does vision statement mean to you?
Well, to me, it's like a blueprint. So for example, I am a creative. I am an artist. I am someone who imagined the world how I want it to be. I could get lost in my vision if I don't write it down. So the vision statement is like my why. Why am I doing this? So this would be my vision statement. And that anchors me so that I can keep going until my vision come to life. This is what a vision statement is to me.
And that's beautiful. You touched on a lot of things. So obviously vision is built with imagination and wisdom, things that we may know from the past, what we hope for the future, and it keeps you grounded, as you did, like you use the anchor. It's almost like a touchstone that we keep going back to as we do what we do to keep on track. I love that. And writing it down, absolutely, because that takes us to the next step. Once you have that vision in our mind, it's important to write it on paper. Otherwise, you get distracted, you forget. Usually, though, a vision becomes almost like the center. It's like our heartbeat, the heart of whatever, the heart of the community, the heart of the organization, company, or even the heart of our lives. I've heard lots of people have a vision for their family to become healthy. So their vision is to lead a healthy lifestyle. And that is their vision, and that's what they want from them. So all that they do is related to that. Again, a lot of businesses have vision statements that will help the employees stay connected and know what the common goal is. And a shared vision is something that most leaders want to have everybody buy into, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. And I know that if you don't have that visions, that mission statement, that vision, if you don't have it, if it's not written anywhere, it is just a wish.
Aha. Yeah.
I and I'll tell you because again, I'm someone who likes to who likes to dream. I dream. And for 2 months, I dreamt of having this private screening of the Black Panther movie. I dreamt of it. I dreamt of my dress, dreamt about how many people would be there, dreamt about how I would speak to them, I dreamt about so many things. So I dreamt about that from November until January when my sister finally said to me, when is this going to be done?
Aha. Yes, because having a vision is great. But if you don't have a strategic plan to back it to get there, it's just an idea or a dream, as you said.
Yes. Yeah, and it's only until I started writing things down and give myself a deadline. Okay, I need to call the movie theater. I need to find out how much money. I need to know how many people can be seated. I need to know all of those things. So until I put all this down, well, write all this down, whew, I was dreaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that because you segue so nicely. The first thing is you have this great idea, this beautiful vision for the future, for something, even be a vision for an event. It's great. Like you said, a dream. And we can stay there and go, ah. But once you put it on paper, it becomes reality. This is what, as individuals or as a leader in a company or organization, we need to clarify what that vision means to us and to anybody it's going to impact. So perhaps if you have a team of people you're working with on an event, or you have a set of employees working with you, you've got to be able to share your vision clearly with them so they also understand. And then, of course, setting the goals. What comes next? What do I need to do to achieve this vision? So writing it down, like you said, is so important. Creating that blueprint. I also like to look at it as a roadmap because it's going to help me get from where I want to be to bringing that vision to life. For me, I also find that when you have a shared vision, it has to be realistic. We have that wonderful thing, oh, I'd really wish in the whole life we can eliminate all barriers. But is it realistic? Can we actually accomplish it? Because having a vision that is so lofty can be intimidating and not realistic. So after you've documented your vision, clearly explained it, and set goals, you need to set some realistic and measurable outcomes and timelines. Like you said, I got to do it by this date. How do you do that, Gerda?
Well, I work with a company, and we worked with children, and what we were mandated to do is to find children, to serve children on underserved communities. And each child had a coach, and we had to empower the children to come up with a goal of contribution. So usually children around 9 to 12 years old. And I tell you, at that age, they have a lot of big vision.
Yes.
We never said no to any vision they brought to us. For example, we heard things like, I want to fly elephants from Africa. This is a big vision.
Yes.
Our goal was not to tell them that, no, you can't do that. No, our goal is to work with them so that they can come up to how they are going to do it, or realize that they cannot do it. And when you allow people to understand what they can or cannot do, you would be surprised what, in fact, they can do. Yes. And that's why it's important to write it down, because as soon as you start writing it down, then you'll have a plan. Who do you need to contact? In company lingo, they say, who are your stakeholders? Who are you going to affect? Who are you going to impact? Who do you need to be part of your project? And all of this we did with the children, because this was their goal of contribution. And so, when you asked me this question, that's what I thought about. That's how, that's how, because you write it down step by step.
Yes, absolutely. And keeping in mind that usually, now, if you have a vision for yourself, that's a different story because then you're accountable for yourself. But if you have a team of people you're working with, like in this case, the kids, you also have to consider, is it realistic and achievable for everybody? Because when you work as a team, you're one. So even though you as a leader may have this great idea, like that, flying the elephants from Africa, maybe that's a great idea, but finding out how realistic it is by getting those input from the stakeholders or the team members also is part of being open to that dialogue that's so important when you're working with vision.
And can I
Please.
add, sometimes you need to explain it to the simplest level so that people can understand it.
Yes.
Because resonance of stars, okay?
Yes.
It was a big vision.
Mhm.
It was a big vision. And I can tell you, not everybody understood that vision.
Yes.
And because of that, I had to make it simpler. I had to say, really, this is what we are going to do. We're coming, and you are going to log on Zoom for 3 hours. The first hour, it will be North America. The second one will be South Africa. The third will be, if I didn't do that this way, we probably would not have understood what it was.
And that's it. And not only that, you sent videos for us to watch of something similar, and just so that people could get a grasp of where you're coming from. And that's the thing, we have to understand that not everybody is understanding us at the same level. It doesn't mean they're beneath us or whatever, but maybe they just haven't thought that way. And so that ties nicely into engaging and sharing your vision with every level of individuals. So from the top to the bottom, in between, and speaking to them on their level. And meaning, for example, you're talking about the children. You're not going to use the same language with the kids as you would with CEOs. So really just meeting them where they are to share with them your vision and get them to buy into it, to become a part of it, an active part, not just saying, oh, that sounds cool. No. How are you going to contribute? How can you be part of this amazing vision so that you too can be successful and help us bring to that next level? When you get that connection with people and they truly understand your vision and they buy into it to the point where they play an active part, you're that much further ahead achieving your vision, bringing it to life. Because if you get those people that have no idea what you mean or don't buy into it at all, say that's stupid or whatever, then you're already stuck. So how did you make that happen, Gerda? You walked us through it. I remember you give us a visualization even.
Yes, because for me, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I was sure, I knew, and I wanted to share this with you. And I wanted to share it when I first started. Of course, I sent videos. This is along the line of the way that I'm thinking of doing this. Okay, some people were like, oh, okay, because again, the reason I shared it's because I know the mind doesn't conceive what the mind cannot see.
That's it.
And that's why it's important. It's important to let things marinate in the mind so that we can move together. We can move forward together. That's the one thing. The second thing was the sharing, because as you start sharing, you have to continue, because I also know that it takes 7 times before people truly hear what you are saying. 7 times. So the first time they heard you. The second time it's like, okay. Because the first time someone hears something that is different, they are dancing with their ego.
Yes.
It's a dance. Okay, it's a dance. They're dancing with their ego. The second time, okay, now who's going to lead?
Yes.
The third time, until you get to, oh, that's what you mean. And it takes a lot of time. So continue, repetition. And you can also affirm, I believe we can do this. I believe we can do this because this is who you are. I believe you can do this because you've already done it. I believe we can all do this because we've been practicing for it.
Exactly.
Affirm.
And this is it. And I think, everybody communicates their visions differently. And I've seen people share a vision board. I've seen people walk it step by step. I've seen people even put it to music. There's so many different ways of conveying and communicating it, but make sure that you are communicating it in a way that the people you are communicating it to really understand it fully. So know your audience, I guess, is a good way to look at it. In that moment, who are you speaking to? Because again, high school students versus professionals, totally different type of language to use and different metaphors and anecdotes to share to demonstrate what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
When we then have the buy-in of people are starting to do the work. They're working hard. We've set up the goals. People are doing what they said they're going to do. As leaders, it's really important for us to continuously keep people informed and updated on the progress, celebrating the achievements of what people have accomplished, as well as owning up to when things aren't working and recognizing that we have an obstacle here. How are we going to overcome it and problem solving it as a team so that everybody feels part of the solution? This can be tricky because sometimes it's just easier to do things ourselves, right, Gerda? So how can we, you're laughing because it's just time. Time is money, isn't it? We have a deadline.
Well, it is easier and it is not, because it is easier in the sense that, if I think that, well, okay, I know what to do, I can do it myself. But it's not so easy when you've done it yourself and the rest of the team feels like they are not involved.
Yeah.
So then you have to undo a lot of things in order to get everybody on board with you. So again, the balance, one thing I know and one thing I've learned is that communication is key.
Yes, that communication piece continues.
So important.
Yes.
To communicate all the time. And you don't have to communicate to give the whole picture all the time. You can communicate in taking someone, and this is most effective, communicate in taking someone from one step to the next. And once we're there, take them from that step to the next. That is most effective.
Absolutely, because you don't want to overwhelm them with too much information. Just again, but celebrating the accomplishments and then recognizing when there's a struggle. Because if you're not transparent and realistic, then nothing gets solved. So Gerda, I know that as leaders, it's important for us to lead by example and walk the walk and talk the talk. So if we've got this vision, we've got to be fully bought into it. We've got to be doing what we say we're going to do and keeping our word and showing others so that they can emulate it or at least follow along, whatever it might be, and for them. So in order for the visions that you've had to finally come to life, as the lead of that, what did you find easiest and the most difficult?
The easiest for me is to recognize that, well, everybody has their own level of genius. Okay, that's, for me, this is easy. It's easy for me to recognize, oh, this person is good at this person is good at that, to recognize the other person. That's very easy. What is not so easy, was not so easy, is for me to recognize the motivation of everyone, because everybody will, people will want, especially when you have made a name for yourself and people know that you've, organized great events, done wonderful projects, they will want to work with you. But recognizing their motivation, that's one thing for me, that was hard. But once I started, I learned about this. It allowed me to see not only that everybody comes from their own motivation, and also how to motivate them in their realm of motivation.
Yes. And you said that so perfectly, Gerda, because that's the struggle for a lot of people. When you surround yourself with people you think are the right ones. And sometimes you can choose those people, other times you don't get that choice. It's just who you're working with. You can only control what you can control, but you still need to lead by example. And although you may be frustrated because so-and-so isn't doing what they should be doing, or why aren't they motivated? Understanding what you just said is so pivotal in all of this. So
Yes, and
good.
do not take it personally,
Yes.
because
So
it's really not about you. It's really not about you.
even if you're so close to this vision and this is your where life's working,
Yes.
it can't be about you. You're
Yeah.
right. So Gerda, what vision do you currently have that you're working on?
Do I have a vision I'm working on right now? Well, I do have some visions, but I'm gonna keep it a secret for now. I don't know.
So we'll have another episode in a few months and we'll reveal our
Yes.
vision. How about that?
Yes. I want to keep it secret because it is still marinating
Okay.
in my heart and in my mind of the vision that I have, and I would like it to come to fruition. And therefore, I am being in the juice of creating those visions.
I love it. And so Gerda, we could talk about this for days, and we will come back to this topic when we're ready to reveal the visions, how we're bringing them to life. But please tell our audience, how can they reach us?
You can reach us many ways. YouTube, Take Another Look podcast.com. You can reach us on Anchor, Spotify, and there's one more, Google. Is it Google?
Apple Podcasts, I think.
Apple Podcasts, thank you, Apple Podcasts. And of course, you can send us an email. You can put it even on Facebook.
Yes.
You can, look for Take Another Look podcast, and you will find us. And please, when you do, subscribe so that you know exactly when the episode has been published.
Absolutely. Like, share, and share it with your friends. Please let people know that what we're up to. We'd love to hear from you. But until next time, I'm Melanie Taddeo-Malo, joined by my beautiful co-host,
Gerda Felix.
See you guys later.
See you later.